morning, class. We are back again for another Shadowverse video. And if you remember last time, we went over Forestcraft. But this time, most people predicted we'd go sword. But I don't like going in order. I just want to go around the order I actually have done research on. And the next one I'd actually do research on is the joys of Havencraft. So Havencraft is a very control-based one. That's all about using their amulets to gain advantage. So, for those that don't know what amulets are bits that get placed on your main field alongside your followers. Can't be attacked, but they have their own skills that when they're placed, when they're removed, and whilst they're on the field, you can do such and such with them. So you get some really nice combos. But to see them in action, let's have a look at a couple of amulets first. And the first one is one of the ones from the trial deck, and this is Hair of Illusions. The Hair of Illusions comes with two skills. First one is Act, press this card. Put this into your cemetery to then select an enemy follower on the field and engage it. Whereas the second skill is an Act, pay 10 play points and rest this card. And put this card into the cemetery to banish each follower on the field. So, second skill we'll start with, because that's the simpler one. It nukes both yours and your opponent's field and removes them from the game. So, a very strong board wipe. But it also uses up every single play point you've got for the turn. So, be very wary of it is the best response. The first one, however, becomes more interesting. Because obviously, setting an enemy follower to engage does then mean they're able to be attacked. So, you can combo those off with a big attacker that's either got Rush or Storm. So you can actually take out an opponent's follower and actually get rid of some key combo pieces. But you can also use this to target an already engaged follower. If you just need to get that little bit of field removal, so you've actually got an empty slot for you to then cool stuff down to. So Hair of Illusions is a very interesting card and one of the key pieces within Havencraft. But what else have we got for amulets? Well, the other one is another very interesting one, and that is Sacred Plea. So, Sacred Plea is one cost, and has two abilities. First one is tap, put this into your cemetery, draw a card. And second ability is pay 2, tap, put this into your cemetery, draw 2 cards. So you can either turn it into a straight +1, or you can make it a cycle card itself, such. Because obviously you're paying 1 to draw 1 to make it a cycle, or paying 1 and drawing 2 to make it a +1. But you've also got the fact of you can place it on the board other ways that's not from the hand to make it a +1 or a +2, so you gain some really nice advantage out of it. So, some really nice low-cost amulets. But what have we actually got for searching for what we want amulet-wise? Because obviously if we're an amulet focus, we're going to need some ways to toolbox. And the first one is one of our evolved cards, and that is Prison Priestess. So Prison Priestess's base form is just a basic evolve to paying 2 points to evolve it to Prison Priestess. And it's a basic 1/1. But Prison Priestess in her evolved form becomes a 2/2 and has the ability on evolve, search your deck for an amulet, reveal it and put it into your hand. So nice and simple, to the point, and a very solid card. Lets us search our deck for exactly what we need for the situation and grab it ready to either play down that same turn if we've got enough play points, it is a low cost one, or we can use it to grab a high cost one for our late game finish of the following turn. So you get some really interesting combos. That is not all the toolbox that we've actually got within the deck. The other one we've got, which I did hint a little bit at earlier when I was talking about Sacred Plea, is Chorus of Prayer. So Chorus of Prayer is a 7-cost spell. It's got the ability of select up to 3 amulets that cost 5 play points or less in your cemetery and put them onto your field. So remember when I was talking about, Sacred Plea, you can place it outside from your hand to then sack it and draw one to actually gain a plus. Chorus of Prayer is one of those ways. So you can obviously grab some other bits and then grab a Sacred Plea as a top up, for example, to tap it, sack it and draw a card. So you're actually getting to do some bit more filtering from your deck. But Chorus of Prayer and the Prison Priestess both share the same thing, of they only get stronger over time as we get more amulets added to the game. Because every single amulet that gets added from this point onwards now gets looked at as, how can we combo with the Chorus of Prayer? How useful is it to search with Prison Priestess? So you get some really interesting combos already building up at the gate. So with us being a control archetype, as you can see from what we've shown so far, we need some ways to actually make ourselves a bit more tanky and increase our defense powers. Well, that's where our next wave of cards come in, starting off with Jeanne d'Arc. So Jeanne d'Arc's defense more comes from her evolved form, but we'll just quickly briefly cover her normal form first, because she's an evolved 2 to evolve her for a 4-cost 3/4. But on Fanfare, she also does come with the ability of dealing 2 damage to each enemy follower on the field. So a nice bit of offense to start off with. But then obviously evolving her into her evolved form gives us the ability to deal 2 damage to each enemy follower on the field again. But we've also got the other effect of giving each other follower on the field +2 defense. So we're getting to bolster our defenses in our other characters as well, our other followers as well. If some of them have got ward, we're getting some nice tanky wards to take some hits and stop our opponent from directly going for our leader. So you get some really nice combos building up on Jeanne d'Arc. Plus the overall combo being a 4 damage to everything on your opponent's board is a really strong bit of pressure to have. But Jeanne d'Arc's not the only way to increase our defense. The other way we've got is Dark Offering. The Dark Offering is a nice little 1-cost spell that's got the quick ability, meaning you can use this either when your opponent attacks or during their end phase. And it's got the ability of select a card on your field, destroy it, and give your leader +3 defense, and then draw a card. So this can be used in combination with your opponent attacking one of your wards, for example, when you're about to lose it. You can sack it, gain 3 defense, and draw a card on top. But the interesting part here is it doesn't say follower. So you can use Dark Offering to destroy your amulets that you no longer need and gain some defense and draw a card. So with us being a heavy amulet, we might not have so many wards on our field at the time. We're taking so much damage. This lets us mitigate some of that damage, which is really nice to have. So, to go off of that defense, what else have we got to actually slow down our opponents? Well, we do have some nice bits of removal in the craft, and the first one up is the form of Priest of the Cudgel. The Priest of the Cudgel's another evolved card again. So as you can see, a lot of the good cards for Haven are their evolves. And it's simple. The basic one is a simple 3-cost 3/3 with a one play point to evolve. But the on evolve says select an enemy follower with 3 defense or less on the field and banish it. So this can combo off with Jeanne d'Arc, the basic one. You've dropped it down, dealt 2 to everything. You can then evolve your priest into this and then take out something you've already damaged. Or you can straight up remove. Keep it is it banishes. So stuff that's got last words which requires it to be sent to the graveyard, they don't get to go off now. So you get some really nice removal from Priest. But that's not the only removal that we've got within Havencraft. Havencraft has got the absolute board wipe of Themis' Decree. And Themis' Decree is a simple 5-cost spell that literally says, destroy each follower on the field. Nice, simple, to the point, and really nice card. Being able to remove the opponent's entire board for a 5-cost, really solid, especially for the fact of if they've just spammed their board and it's all waiting to attack the following turn, you can drop this down, and then they've got to rebuild their board back up again to be able to attack the following turn, unless obviously they've got Storm or Rush or other stuff. So, really nice card. But if we've got all this defense, how do we finish the game? Well, that's where our last two cards come in. First one being the actual boss of the trial deck in Skullfane. So Skullfane's a 7-cost 6/6, which on its own, really solid numbers. But then we look at his fanfare. And his fanfare says you look at the top 4 cards of your deck, you may reveal an amulet from among them, put it onto your field, and then put the rest of the cards into your cemetery. And then his second skill is whenever an amulet leaves your field, deal 2 damage to each enemy leader and enemy follower on the field. So, with what we were talking about earlier, with the ability to use stuff like Dark Offering to destroy amulets, that would activate this. We've obviously got the Hair of Illusion, which self-sacrifices itself to engage an opponent's follower. So then you engage the follower and then deal 2 damage to everything. You've got the Sacred Plea that rest tires itself and draws, and then deals 2 damage to everything. So you get some really nice ability to chain off, all for low costs as well. Because obviously Hair Illusion's 0, Sacred Plea's 1, the Dark Offering's 1. You can get some really nice combos working with Skullfane. And obviously, this stacks for each Skullfane you've got on the board. So if you've got 2 on the board, you're dealing 4 damage to everything. So really nice. The extra bit of filter on top is really solid as well, because you can actually dig for an amulet, but you can obviously fail and then end up just sending 4 cards straight to your cemetery. So you do need to be a little bit careful. But that's not all we've got in terms of finishers. We did get the other legendary from the set, alongside Argent d'Arcs, and that is Moon Al Mirage. Now, this follower's got the ability of Storm, so gets to attack the turn it's played. Really solid. 5-cost, 4/5. Not too bad. But then you get even better when you got Follower Strike to give +2 attack to this follower. And at the start of your end phase, give this follower a +2 defense. So what's Follower Strike? I think that's the first thing I need to cover. Follower Strike is the same as Strike, but only activates when you're actually attacking a follower. So if you go for a leader with this, it does not activate. So you do need to be very careful. But the ability to gain +2 power, really nice. The ability to gain +2 defense, really nice. All in all, very solid card. It can ramp up very quickly. Plus it's only a 5-cost, so it can come out in the mid-game as well. And start to build it up quite nicely, and then use it as a finishing push. So overall, really nice. But that's enough about the cards. Let's move into the actual example deck list I've got here for you.
Alright, I do want to obviously start out with stressing that this is an example list. You can happily go with someone else's list. You can happily change my list to how you want. It's just a basic starting point for people to pick up, learn how to play the craft, and then develop it themselves. Because obviously everyone plays differently. So no one's going to always run the exact same list. So as you can see from my example list I've got here, we've dragged in a few of the bits we've already mentioned, but we've also added a few extras that we haven't talked about yet. Let's just quickly discuss them now. So the one major amulet I missed over in the previous discussion, which obviously is a really good one to have, is the Pinion Prayer. So Pinion Prayer is a 1-cost amulet that's got the ability to act, pay 1 and rest this, put it into your cemetery to summon a Holy Falcon token. So, what is a Holy Falcon token, you may ask?
Well, the Holy Falcon token is a 2/2 token with the ability to Storm. So, a really nice card. And the fact that you can get this in for 1 cost means that this is technically live as of turn 2. So, really nice to have. Plus, you can combo it off nicely with your Hair of Illusions, which is a 0 cost, to engage what you're wanting to actually attack. So you can get some really nice combos flowing. The other amulet we did pass over that I do want to actively talk about within Haven is the Death Sentence. So Death Sentence is a 3 cost amulet and it comes into field engaged. So you can't play it, it's a rest effect that turn. But it's got the act rest to put this in the cemetery, to choose an enemy follower and destroy it. So, nice, simple, to the point, straight up removal. It doesn't activate on the turn it's actually played, but having the ability to set it up for the following turn is really nice to have. Another card, we've chosen to not go with Skullfane in this list, but instead we've gone for something else that goes with the amulet removal in Holy Sentinel. So Holy Sentinel says, once during each of your turns, when another amulet leaves your field, you summon a Holy Tiger token and give it Ward. So for a 5 cost, we're summoning a 4/4 follower with Rush, and it gains Ward. And this is an amulet as well, so it stays on the board. So you get some really nice combos. And being able to do a Ward 4/4 every single turn is really nice. I really do like it, honestly. We have also tapped into the Nationalist stuff. And the main amulet we went for the Nationalist stuff is the Path to Purgatory. So, comboing this off with Chorus of Prayer leads to some really amusing plays. For the fact of you're paying 7 to draw 3 and then deal 3 to yourself. But he's also got the additional ability of, at the start of your end phase, if you're 6 or less, leader defense, you can tap this, put it into your cemetery, and deal 6 damage to each of your opponent enemy followers. Which you can then combo off with Holy Sentinel, if you've not sent an amulet yet this turn, to get a 6/6 with Ward. A 4/4 with Ward, sorry, not 6/6. That'd be stupid if the Holy Tiger came in as 6/6 with Ward. Talking of wards though, we have obviously added our Bell Ringer Angel. It's a really good low cost ward, and it lets you draw a card with the last word. Obviously, as we were talking earlier with Themis' Decree, the last words does obviously need it to be sent to the graveyard, the cemetery, sorry. So being banished doesn't activate the last words, but all in all, nice simple deck, really good for beginners. And it's really fun to have this level of control while still being able to have a nice little bit of final push aggro at the end. But that's all we've got time for in this video. If you haven't done so already, please do like and subscribe. It very much does help the channel. But I shall catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye!